Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're seeing my channel for the first time, you're welcome. This is Jenny's Crowns Empire. So in my previous video, I showed you how to draft the Milkmaid dress, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to go about the sewing of this beautiful dress you see me putting on. So if it's your first time, please do give me a thumbs up, subscribe. If you've not yet subscribed, click on the notification bell so you get notified when I upload new videos. And if this is something that you're interested in, then keep watching. So these are the patterns for the lower part of my dress. This is an A-line skirt pattern, and these are my other pieces. So if you've not watched the tutorial video on how to draft this dress, I'm going to leave the link in the description, or you click on this card showing above here. So now these are my pattern. This is the bra cup pattern. Then these are my back pieces. So let me set aside some of them so you're not confused. So this is my center front. This is my front pattern. This is my back pattern. Okay. So these are the patterns I'll be working with. Now I'm back to the lower part of the dress. So this first pattern here is the front pattern, and this is my dart, and I added my dart allowance. So for the lower part of this skirt, I divided my round hip by 4, then added extra 5 inches for the lower part. Hope you're not confused. So now for the back pattern, I did the same thing, but I just added my boat contour for that part. So if you've not watched my boat contour pattern drafting for your skirt, I'm going to leave the link in the description. So now this is the fabric I'm making use of. Is a crepe fabric, a very beautiful one at that, I must say. I've transferred my pattern on my fabric. So I went ahead to add 0.5 all around for the bra pieces and also for the lower part. I also went ahead to add 0.5 on these main pieces, and I added 1 at the sides of the front and the back pieces. So the next I'm going to do here is to go in and sew in my dart. Remember we created the dart when we were drafting the pattern. I'll do the same for all the pieces. So I've done that. I sew in the dart for the front pieces, the lining pieces, the back pieces, the lining pieces. Okay, so now we're going to go into the cup part of this dress. Permit me to say the cup part of this dress, which is very, very important. Please pay close attention. Now, I'm going to place my main fabric and the lining piece. We're going to be joining them together. Please take note of how I'm going to join them together. When drafting or when transferring your pattern to your main fabric, please notch the top part of your fabric and the center front. Very important. So I'm going to place the matching line in here. So I'll be sewing here, stitching it down. I'll be doing the same for this other piece here. I will stitch here too. So let me use my pin so you know what I'm doing. So this part we're stitching is the center front of our bra cup, or of our cup pieces. Let me just say cup pieces. I went ahead to iron after stitching. So we're going to run the gather stitch here, a loose stitch here. Please do not back stitch. So just stitch round except the center front. So now you want to make sure that your threads are really long. We're going to be pulling on this thread to create the gather. So I'll measure this top part of my cup pieces, or my cup piece for my pattern. That is why it's important to keep your pattern very well. So I'm just going to go ahead to pull the top part of this thread. The top part, you have the lower part and the top part of the thread. So just pull it. As you pull, you measure to make sure you have the same thing that you have on your pattern Okay, that's why it's important to measure. So I'll be doing this for all the places I stitch with the loose stitch. Please, when you're sewing with your loose stitch, do not back stitch. When you start sewing and even when you're done sewing, do not back stitch for this particular point, at this point where we are now. This step is very important. So you can easily pull the front. Please be careful so your thread doesn't break when you're pulling this. Be patient as well because it's going to take a while. So just measure what I have here. If it's if it's less than what I need, I'm going to just open it up. Keep just measure until you get what you have. So I'm just cross checking if the the measurement I have on the fabric is what I have here. So just go ahead and measure. So I'll be doing the same for this lower part. Again, pick the top thread, the thread at the top, not the lower thread. I'm just going to pull, and don't pull both thread at the same time. Okay, I'm just going to pull like this. As I'm pulling, I'm spreading the gathers. So you're going to pull this all the way to the other part of the cut pieces that is open, right? So by the time you're done, if you see that it's forming some sort of cup, that's what I'm calling it, cup. So you're going to do the same thing for the other piece. Please take note, you first of all join your lining piece and your fabric at the center front, then you turn it. So after stitching, after creating my gather, this is what I have. I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other cup. I really enjoyed making these outfits. I really enjoyed making it. At some point, I started doing transitioning. I just hope you have as much fun as I did when making mine. So we're just going to go ahead to repeat the same thing for the other cup piece. Of course, obviously, we need to do the same thing we're doing for one cup on the other. So just make adjustments when and where necessary. So at this part going towards the armhole, okay, make sure that your cup doesn't get to the top. At least let it be, say, 0.5 inch below that top point so we can be able to attach our sleeve. Hope you understand. So this is what I'm talking about. So repeat the same thing here. So this is what I have. I've done the same for the other cup. You can see what I have here. So you do one more or as many adjustments as you need. The goal is to just get the what you need for your outfit. So I'm just doing some touches here and there just so that I'll be certain I have what I want. So you're just going to have to do a lot of adjustments. Okay, so I'm going to measure again, see if what I have is what I need. And I discover I had to make slight adjustment again. So you're going to do that. You're going to, when you're making your own outfit, you're going to come to this stage where you have to adjust, measure all the way. Okay, so once you're certain that that is what you need, we're going to go ahead. Let me clear my table. I just have a lot of threads here. So you're going to go ahead to get a piece of your fabric or whatever fabric you want to use. So we're trying to create a bias tape from this. So for me, I wanted my to be long. If you look at the outfit at the beginning of this video, you will see that there's a rope in front. That is what we're trying to create here. Okay, so I'm just going to reduce what I have here a bit. So this is on fold. I have two pieces. They're on fold. When I open them up, it's 1.5 inch. So this is the inside of my cup. And again, I wanted to be sure. So I'm just going to go ahead to attach these pieces. You should have two. You need two. And it should not be short. It should be at least long enough to cover this top part of your cups. Then have what you can tie with. So I'm just going to trim off this. I don't know, for some reason my lining pieces were just acting up. Okay. So this is what I'm trying to explain. So I'm going to pick one piece here. So I'll be starting, you can just do what you want to do. What we're trying to achieve here is pipe the top part to make it smooth and neat. We're all about neat finishing, okay? So we're going to close this part. So I'm using 1.5-inch wideness. That is the wideness of my this fabric I'm adding here as my bias. You can use a different fabric from the fabric you're using. Just make sure that everything comes out well and beautiful, of course. So we are going to go ahead with this stitch. Then when we're done, we'll just pipe it and close this other part. So I'll repeat the same thing for this other cup piece. So this is what I was trying to explain basically. I've created a rope from it. You just close the open part and voila, you have the rope there. So this is what I have. Time to attach these to our lower part of the front piece. So just go ahead and arrange this, nothing complicated. So now, remember I said that you should make sure the core piece is at least 0.5-inch lower from this point here, okay? Where we're going to fix our sleeve. So now for this other cup, you're going to do some sort of overlap, minimum of 0.5-inch overlap, so that it can be resting on top of the other cup. So I'm just going to arrange it the same way I did for the other cup. Then again, I will come down by 1/2 inch on this armhole side because we'll be attaching our sleeves. So you'll be stitching this with 0.5-inch. By the time you're done, this is what you're going to have. So you just go ahead and stitch. So after stitching, for me, I'm going to be weaving that rough edge. So just go ahead. This is what I have. The next one I'm going to do is to attach our lining pieces. Just the same thing. Place your lining piece like this. Make sure it aligns. And make sure that your ropes are out of the way. I don't know for you, but one of the most frustrating things as a fashion designer is to lose what you have sewn. That is why, for me, I cross check, but it's sometimes inevitable. You must lose one time or the other. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin this. Again, I'll be stitching with 0.5-inch, then I will weave. So I'll be joining the lining pieces too for the back piece, and this is how I'm going to join them. I will place the matching piece of the lining piece against, that is right side against right side like this. Now I have the part where I have the dart facing me. So just go, make sure you arrange it the way it should be. Then I'll stitch here for both sides. After stitching, this is what I have. I went ahead to weave like I said I was going to. You see how neat it is. So I'm just going to go ahead to show you what I have for the back piece. But before that, I've already gone ahead to transfer my pattern for my skirt, that is lower part of my gown, and this is it. I went ahead to sew in my dart here. I'm just going to line it. So now if you're not going to make a dress, or if you don't plan on making a dress, this is where you stop. No need to join this or add this lower part. All right, just do your finishing, join the back piece and add your sleeve, attach your sleeve, and you're good to go. But if you're going for a dress, please continue watching. So I'm just going to align this. I'll be stitching again with 0.5-inch, and by the time I'm done, I'm going to also weave because I want that part to be as tidy as possible. So I'm using this to secure my fabric the way you see me doing. Just arrange your pieces well like this. Now for the lower part, you can do anything. You have the liberty to go for a more fitted lower part of your gown. You can go for 360 flare. You can go for 180. You can go for 90. Just be creative, all right? If you can create a slit for yours. So I'm going to repeat the same thing I did for the front pieces now on these back pieces. So I'm just going to arrange them like this. Then I will stitch with 0.5 inch. This is what I have after joining, and it's coming out beautiful. And this is what the inside looks like. And also this is the back piece, and this is what the other one looks like. So it wasn't my intention for this video to be this long. I just wanted to make it as detailed as possible. So pardon me. The next one we're going to work on now is this back piece. We're going to be attaching a zipper to this. So we're going to be attaching this. So if you're drafting or if you drafted a pattern for your lower gown using board contour, please do well to notch. I think I didn't mention it. Notch the center back so that you don't mistake it for the side. Now, again, I'm going to come up from this side by 1.5 inch because I don't want that part to be pointed. I should have done this on my pattern. So it's not too late. So I'll just blend it into the center back. I'm doing this for the back piece and the front piece. I'm doing this on the side, not at the center. Hope you get right. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for the front piece. Okay. So go ahead and fold it into two. The next I'm going to do now is to work on my sleeve, and these are the fabrics, or this is the fabric I'll be using. So I make use of this organza fabric, and I went ahead to just blend in the armhole on it. So you need that curve at the armhole part so you can be able to attach your sleeve seamlessly to your main fabric. So before that, we're going to be attaching elastic. So I'm going to fold the top part. I just wanted to give this organza a different look. That's why I added these black pieces. So I'll fold both the lower part and the top part just to give me enough room to pass my elastic. So I'll be doing that for all. So now the wideness of the sleeve depends on you. And again, it must not be this kind of sleeve. You can just be creative. So for the back, now I'm going to go ahead I'll be adding my zipper like I said before. And my zipper, I want it to be at least, say, 20 inches long. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark 20 inches here. I repeat the same thing for this other side, 20 inches. So now I'll join my back pieces together because we need to close the lower part where we're not going to be attaching our zip. Yes, we need to close it. So I'm just going to arrange this, then use my pin to make sure that the joining at the back, they align. So make sure that the pieces align. So I'm just arranging this. I also weave the center, so I'll go ahead and stitch. After stitching, this is what I have. I went ahead to open press it. So I'm going to go ahead to fix my zipper. And like I said, I'll be using this black zipper here. I'll go ahead and stitch it. Then I'll show you what I have. So make sure you join your zipper neatly. This is what I have after joining my zipper. So I'm just going to go ahead to show you what my sleeve looks like. Okay, like I said, your sleeve depends on how wide you want it to be. Whatever style you want for your sleeve, just do you. So the next thing I'm going to do is to pass my elastic. So I'll be using this elastic and my safety pin. This is 0.5 inch wide elastic. So I'm going to, you want to cut something that is long enough for your, for it to be able to get to your shoulder. Okay. So I'll be making use of 11 inches, and you want to make sure that you try to check it out like this, the way you see me doing. Okay. Because I actually noticed that some elastic are not stretchy, are not that stretchy. I don't know why, but I recently discovered that. So you want to be sure that you check how far it can stretch. So this is going to serve for the shoulder part. And again, we have to cut another set of elastic for the wrist. So I'm just going to place my elastic round like this. And I'm going to do the same thing, just pull to see how much stretch I have. Okay. So I'll take note of that and I'll cut two because of course we need to cut for both sleeves. So after doing that, the next step is quite simple. I'm going to go ahead to use my safety pin and pass it through my elastic. So I'll be working with the shoulder, the elastic for the shoulder, that is the armhole section. So I'll set this aside. Then go ahead, pass your safety pin, pass it like this, then go ahead and pass it through that opening. So I'm going to fast forward this so that this video doesn't become more lengthy. If you've watched this video to this point and you're yet to subscribe, what are you waiting for? Please like this video, share this video, leave a comment for me in the comment section, subscribe. Also, do not forget to click on notification bell so you get notified when I upload new videos. And thank you so much for all your support. It means a lot. Thank you so, so much. So I'm going to go ahead to just repeat the same thing for the lower part. You can see what I'm doing as you pass your elastic through, you just adjust it and use your pin to secure it. So just adjust, then I'll repeat the same thing on the lower part. So I'll pass my elastic, then pass it through. Make sure you don't pass the elastic through before you secure the other part. You see, you saw what I did there. I had to use my pin to hold that part down so it doesn't go in with this other part. Then it begins to stress you. I'm just going to go ahead, do the same thing all the way until I get to the other part. Just basically repeat the same thing, and I will use my pin to hold it down. Just go ahead, hold it down the way you see me doing. Make sure you adjust, adjust, and adjust. So I'll show you how to attach this to the dress. Okay, so watch. So I'll get my dress, I'll open up the sleeve like this, then I'll align one side of the armhole of the dress to this part of the sleeve. Now please make sure you're attaching the right side to the right side. Okay, so I'll just go ahead, use my pin to hold it down, and if there's any excess fabric on the sleeve, you can choose to trim it down a bit. So now I'm going to place the matching side of the back piece. Please, matching side. Highlight that matching side. Okay, so you see what I'm doing here. I'm going to place it the same way I did for the front, like that. Use my pin to hold it like this, and I'll repeat the same thing to the end, at the end of that part there, and stitch with 0.5 inch. I'm also going to weave when I'm done. So this is what I was trying to explain when I say matching side. You can see how it aligns with the front. So I'm going to repeat the same thing on this other side as well. Then I'll join it. I'll join the sides of my dress to close it up using my body measurement. Please make use of your body measurement. Use your body measurements. I'll be stitching all the way from the sleeve here down to the hemline. Okay, so now for the hemline, when I'm done stitching on both sides, I'm going to fold it in to have a neat finishing at the lower part as well. Then I'll show you what I have. So now this is what the dress looks like. It's so gorgeous. You can make it shorter if you want it to, not this long, if you don't want it this long, so you can do what you want with it. I love how the dress came out. I just love the dress. I cannot explain how much I love the dress. I had to try it on myself just so that you can see what it looks like. So this is the finished look. So go ahead and like this video, share it, drop your comment in the comment section, subscribe, click on notification bell so you get notified when I upload new videos. And thank you for your massive support. We'll be hitting 2,000 subscribers very soon. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye.